I am going to give you guys your monthly forecast for March 2023. I don't know why, but like my nerves have been up a lot this week and just like in the past 2 weeks in general. I'm gonna move this incense over here because it's doing wild shit. Anyway, so yeah, so I've been like, you know, having really bad nerves. So sorry, forgive me if if my message isn't as clear as it should be, or if I'm just like not doing delivery properly. My nerves have been all over the place, and yeah, it's been kind of hard. Anyway, so how this reading works is I'm going to do a general reading first, just for everyone, and then we're going to go by elemental signs, if that makes sense. So, like, I'm going to do the general reading first, and then we're going to do water, earth, fire, air, and maybe not in that order. It depends on like um, where I feel comfortable going at the moment, but that's how we'll do it. So, if you aren't really familiar with my monthly readings or like with my readings in general, um, I am not one to be like, oh, everything's great, or like I'm not like gonna be the person who's gonna just like stick to positivity. I'm going to read and interpret the cards as they come. Um, and whatever you get is what you get. So sometimes I might feel, have like a little bit harsher tone with some people, and with others it might be a little bit softer. It's just like how I give the message is how it's meant to be received. And as always, if it doesn't mesh well with you, if it doesn't resonate, don't take it as yours. Um, but yeah, so we're going to do the general reading part of this monthly forecast. Oh my god. Okay. So first we pulled the Six of Swords, which I'm not a huge fan of like the sword suit, but I do love Six of Swords. I love getting that card out. So definitely a good sign. We're starting out, um, with our backs facing, the past. We're moving forward. We're pushing through. Um, these cards don't want to fall out. Don't know why. What else is there? Knight of Wands. Judgment. Okay. And we've got Queen of Wands. So basically, what I feel is we are over. We are completely done with the bullshit at this point, and we're like, no, I need to move on. I need to go find something new or do the thing that I've been wanting and wishing to do for like years now. I'm tired of like holding myself back. And then we have like the element of water too here, with the Six of Swords, which is all about like change and transmuting for sure. And so we are done. We're done with the games. We're done playing games. This is a definite sign that March is starting out with either like your actions are like they're going to be fulfilled because you're actively going to do them. So if you did any planning for if you did any planning for March in February, those plans are going to be they're going to be fulfilled during that time, or during this month. Um, and we also have the Knight of Wands here, which means that this is a passion-led journey, a passion-led like series of actions that's going to take place here. Um, Definitely feeling a bit of drive, a bit of motivation, a bit of momentum here when it comes to you and your desires. But towards the kind of like middle ish, we kind of get into like a state of like, oh, should I go back? Should I go forth or whatever? There's a cloud. Um, there's going to be kind of like a cloud surrounding your mind for a little bit that's going to kind of test you in a way to see um, if whether or not you are truly ready for what you've been wanting your like throughout this time. So we have judgment here that basically is like, can you figure out? It's saying, sorry, this judgment card is speaking on terms of integrity, in terms of honoring your commitment to yourself, honoring your self worth, your self love, honoring yourself in general. Um, and not only is that, but not only is it that, but there's also a case of, are you going to actually follow through this time? I know, like, if you're in areas like me, sometimes you start shit and it doesn't really work out the way that you wanted to, and you drop it, you either get bored or it's just kind of like, oh, well. I forget about it and I don't complete the work or whatever. This is the moment of time where it's like, okay, you've planned all this shit, you've got all the supplies, you have all the support. Are you going to follow through? It's up to you now to, do everything that you said that you were supposed to do or you said that you were going to do, right? So that's what's going to be in the middle of the week, kind of like, okay, are we doing this or are you not? You're gonna have like that conversation with yourself, like, uh, but when you sit in that moment, that space, think about it'll slow down for a bit and think about if it's still passion led. We are leading a lot with passion in the beginning of March. We are leading with passion, um, but towards the middle, if you don't feel that passion under all that confusion, under all that just like weirdness going on in your head, um, is it the right path for you? If not, then it's probably something similar because what if you had passion before this, cloud of judgment, or this, thing that's making it difficult for you to figure out whether or not you should continue. Um, if that was like, if it had like a lot of passion towards it, if you had a lot of passion towards it in the first place, you might be on the right path to finding your right path, or finding the thing that you know that you are supposed to be doing, your soul's mission, your deepest desires, etc., etc. And toward the end of the month, it seems like if all goes well, things are going to be a bit fulfilling. And I don't mean a bit fulfilling, I mean like heavily fulfilling. We have a Queen of Wands, so that card can represent a lot of passion, still passion, like driven by passion, a lot of fire, a lot of motivation, a lot of taking charge, a lot of sex for sure, a lot of sensual energy, creation, etc. We have hold on. So we have fire and then a lot of feline energy as well. Um, Hella feline energy. I'm like just looking at the Queen of Wands, like, wow, that's a lot of fucking cats. Um, so, how do you tap into your divine feminine? That's fucking crazy because the the oracle deck that I was going to use, or I am going to use, is the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. That's the deck that I chose to use for this reading, and that is, I know why now. How are you going to tap into your divine feminine energy, your divine feminine power? And how are you going to step into that place of um, flow creation, and just kind of like letting things come to you, being the magnet itself and not necessarily going out to get what you want to attract. It's not going to be a mutual finding, but rather you're going to emit that energy, and your desires are just going to come and come and come and come and come. So the okay, one thing that has been weighing on my head, or like has been knocking around in my head lately, has been that love is divine currency. And I'm going to do a whole blog post about this on my Tumblr, and I'll probably post it on my website too. Um, but basically, the gist of that is that when you emit love and when you send love to the things that you want, it has no choice but to come to you, because love is divine currency. Love is the energy that physically moves the world, even though love isn't really a physical thing to begin with. And Aristotle actually talks about how the prime mover, or prime whatever, I think he does call it the prime mover, the unmoved mover, moves the universe, or in this case our solar system, because Aristotle Aristotle wasn't that well versed on how the universe, how big the universe actually was at that point in time. But yeah, how he means the solar system, but I'm going to say our universe at this point. Um, how our universe is moved by the prime mover simply because they observe the prime mover's affection, the prime mover's love, the prime mover, and there's like more to deal with, like thought and whatever, and it has to do with the void and whatever. But basically, to the takeaway here is that um, the prime mover moves the universe by emitting love. How fucking powerful is that? You could do the same thing because you feel love, you have love to give. So you can do the same exact thing by moving your desires closer to you, and that is what is, that's what you're attracting. That's how you become magnetic, by emanating and like sort of like leaking love out of yourself. So that's the energy that I'm picking up. Hella love, hella uh fulfillment, hella just like success, but in a sense that it's not like complete success. You're making progress on things. You're just beginning, and if not just beginning, then getting back on track to what you've been told to do, or wanting to do, or wanting to have. um Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. What the fuck did I just say? Goddess of devotion, Parvati. I am love that doesn't leave. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. See, this is what I'm talking about. Every time I pull Oracle deck, I feel like I've already said everything I can say. But just to like go deeper into this, we have the goddess of never not broken, and we have the goddess of devotion. So when I say that love is going to be kind of like the focus of this month, or in March, I do not mean that you're going to have like many, like a good leap in your relationship, although that might happen. I mean, you're going to feel more universal love, more divine love, um, love from source, love of source. You're going to really connect with yourself, your soul, and the divine. Um, Nature, Mother Earth, and all that goodness, you're going to really connect, and you're going to get in this space of abundance, because you're going to appreciate every little thing that is popping up, especially since it's going to be springtime in March. You're going to find appreciation for the regeneration, appreciation for reproduction, appreciation for the beauty that spring gives and the sunlight. There is a very heavy imagery of fire here in this spread, heavily and heavily, depicted within this spread. So you might pray to the sun more, or sit and soak up the sun's rays, or just thank the divine for setting you just right in the universe so you could enjoy the sun without any complications. um, this is the type of love that we're going to feel, and this is universal love. That is what you're going to emit, or at least become familiar with. And this is the type of love that you need to send out to other things, to other parts of the thing that you desire, or the path that you're going towards. You need to send love to your future self, your past self, for getting you to where you are, your future self, for persisting through that change, and making sure that you stayed on track the entire time. Send love to everything that you desire and that you see your future self having. Send love to your higher self for keeping you on track, and for always being there for support. Send love to your lower self for keeping you grounded. Yes, the lower self keeps you grounded, but also for letting you know where you need to evolve at the same time. So this is the type of love that will be going around throughout the month of March, and I am honestly so excited for it. Literally, I am so excited for it because it just exudes everything that spring is about, especially the beginning of the actual year. It's like the actual like seasonal natural year. um of course it's going to start with love. What else would it start with if the year is just now beginning over, if things are just now coming out of dormancy? What else would there be if not love? So that is going to be the general reading. Oh, that was loud. Anyway, that's the general reading. I'm going to move on to water signs in a bit. I'm learning to slow down and actually take water breaks, because if I don't, I'll be out of fucking breath for the entire reading. And no one will understand what I'm saying because I'll be talking too fast. And I don't want that, because I feel like, well, first, March is my birth month. So, like, it's pretty serious around here in terms of, loving March and making sure that I am doing my part in making sure this reading goes as smoothly as possible. Okay, yeah, so we're doing water signs now because I don't think I started with water signs the last reading. So we're going to start with water signs this reading. So what lies for water signs? Remember to check your sun, moon, and rising. Okay, well, that was on me because I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, remember to check your sun, moon, and rising. But this is for the monthly forecast for March 2023 for water signs. We have King of Swords that popped out. Okay, Judgment again. Also Six of Swords again. What else is there? Ooh. And the Fool. We're ending with the Fool for water signs. Interesting. Usually that starts at the beginning, but I guess this progression. No, actually, this is fucking perfect. This is. You're. Okay. Listen, March is going to be really beautiful for you, in terms of, changing your life around, changing uh, the way that you go, and kind of, having a new beginning, starting over, making room for yourself, making room for more and for your evolution. So, first we have the King of Swords, which indicates that. Oops, sorry, there's a light behind me. Yeah, first we have the King of Swords, which indicates that you have been kind of in this space of thinking that has been really clear, or at least you're going to be during the first week of March. You're going to be in this headspace that's really clear, very much get it done, very much quickly thinking, logic based thinking. You're going to be doing shit analytically, and that's going to be the side of you that's going to take a charge, your analytical side as well. Or not as well, but that's going to be the side that's going to take charge. But there's butterflies here, so there's going to be kind of like getting a sense of why, and I'm asking myself this question, but I'm also asking you if this means anything to you. Why would change be imminent for someone who's really analytical, really planning it out type of thing, quick-witted, sharp tongue? Why is there a need for a metamorphosis? And there is a need for a metamorphosis, but also I just heard um, it's not too late. It's not too late to start over, for you to get back on the right track. This is definitely going to be a time where you're getting your life in order, where you're like, okay, now that all that illusion is out of the way, I can finally take the time to sit, um, and really think about all of my actions in the past, um, all of the actions that'll be taking place, um, in the future, how I can get my act together now. Also, there's a butterfly effect type of thing. So maybe during the first week of March, it would be a really good time to do an act of kindness, a random act of kindness um, to ensure that good karma comes back to you, or at least that level of goodness is spread throughout the world. Again, we're dealing with a lot of love here. And, just generally, we're dealing with a lot of love. Um, so, yeah, so the first week will be really good for. Oh, there's tension around my head. That's why I paused. I was like feeling the pressure. It's like hands, like here. It feels like I'm wearing like a headband right now. Um, there's tension around my head. I'm feeling that you guys are kind of um, in a space where your crown has gone missing. And when I say that, like, it's so funny because I did the thumbnail right before I started this video. Crown on the head, but you got a headband going on. Your crown has been missing for a while. I'm getting Red Queen vibes, off with their head type of deal. Um, you have been lost for a very long time, at least mentally. Um, and you've kind of snapped back into it. Um, and you're feeling like not really like that you're not yourself, but it's a very weird feeling for you to be back within your body at this point in time. It's kind of like you've been out of it for so long. I don't know if this is, if this is for a specific person, but you've been out of it for so long, um, that it doesn't feel right to be present. Um, and this is not like anything that's terrible. It's not anything that's going to be like, hard for you to deal with. It's just kind of like this weird feeling of, okay, why do I feel foreign in my own body and my own self? Um, and it's just because you haven't been here for a while, babe. You haven't been conscious, to say the very least. You've just kind of been going through life on like kind of like a droid state, kind of like a conveyor belt type situation. What are those things called? It's not a conveyor belt, but a factory type of thing. What is it called? Assembly line. Yes, you've been in like an assembly line kind of situation where you're doing the same thing over and over again. You kind of like lose presence of what's going on around you because all that you've been doing is just a routine and it's just been the same thing over and over again. So you can go on autopilot because you already know what you're going to be doing for the day, you know? Because you've been doing it over and over and over and over and over for many days, many weeks, many even months, possibly. But you've come back, you've got your head back, and you're like, okay, I want this to change. And this is where judgment comes in. So we have 2020 vision, we're seeing clearly. But also, it's kind of like, okay, I see what I have been doing. I'm taking accountability for myself. I'm kind of re-engaging with myself and recognizing myself as true and present within this moment. Um, but I'm also declaring right here and now that change is going to happen and change will happen. So during the kind of second week of March or towards the middle, um, there's going to be a lot of planning for change, a lot of coming to terms with truths that have been kind of like hidden, swept under the rug type of thing. But also, kind of being self-aware is really the part that we're in. That's really the essence of this second week of March is self-awareness and making sure that you're staying present, making sure that you're practicing mindfulness and appreciating life that's going on around you, that you don't get stuck in a pattern again, that you don't get stuck in a loop. Um, so that's going to be really the focus is just immense clarity and making sure that you really don't get stuck in that area again. Um, Now we have the Six of Swords. We already talked about the Six of Swords in the general reading, but now that you've been like, you've had this moment of clarity and you're like, okay, um, I know what it feels like to be in myself anymore. I know what it feels like to exist wholly, um, now. And now it's time to explore sort of like the outside world, if that makes sense. Like you've done the inner work, at least enough to get back into your own body, but now you're seeking something of yourself, but also of the world as well. Um, and it's also six is the number of love. So it could be that you're gravitating towards, the love of the universe. We have the full at the end, so it could just be love for universal love. Because with that zero, it is universe, the universe, etc. Um, but it could also be um, that you're searching for something that is truly yours. So it could be that you are starting your own business or you have like the hunch to start your own business, um, or that you kind of feel like um, where you are financially isn't right, um, or where you are like on a personal level isn't right. So you're finding it's like nothing that you have right now was built for you. So you're going out to find the material so you can build your own empire. That is that's basically what the middle of March holds for you. Now that you have all that clarity, you understand exactly what you're trying to build for yourself. And so that, um, that recognition is, you're going to make a plan for it. You have already made a plan for it. And now you're going to get the materials, you're going to get the building blocks for your life. Um, and this is a really good time to start new things, to begin new things, because towards the end of March, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. You're going to be in this sort of like lofty kind of like headspace, bit like a sort of student taking a sort of student position, novice position, where you're just going to be exploring a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. So this is basically going to open up doors for you that you might not been might have not been what's the word, open to. Sure. You might not have been open to previously. It's going to open doors that you might have not been open to previously, because um now that because you just haven't been in yourself, you haven't been in your body. So that is what you're dealing with for March 2023 for water signs. A lot of cleaning out the closets, a lot of cleaning your glasses off. There's a lot of cleaning going on apparently, but a lot of hella change, hella transformation. However, there is an instance, I will say, of you might get the urge to move back, or move back to where you were at previously. Do not do it. Wherever you go is where you continue. Do not go back. Okay? Don't go back. That's not for anyone. In fact, you should face the newness with open arms and with love, because that's where you will get the most out of it, the better outcome. I have a steel-like faith in myself. My angels armor me with conviction. Okay. Love is my lineage, and gratitude is my religion. So I feel like this is a lot of you've been kind of like having doubts. This is basically where I was going with uh when it's like, okay, you're gonna have like this kind of like thought of going back to how things were previously. Don't do that. um Starting something new, starting like being a beginner at something is fucking scary. And I know it is. It's absolutely terrifying to be good, be a beginner at something, be new at something, because you don't know if people are gonna judge you. You don't know if this is like, something that is truly meant for you. You don't even know if you're going to be good at it, or if you were going to find it interesting, or if you're going to find it interesting, or if, and this is a big one, I'm feeling, if it's a waste of your time. Did you waste your life force by doing something new when you should have been doing um what you've known all along? No, not in this case, at least. Um, the answer is no. Being new at something is absolutely terrifying. I get it. In fact, I hate being new at things myself, but you know what? I've learned to love the process of learning. I've learned to love the process of having a mentor. I've learned to love, you know, that interaction with, newness, that interaction with, change happening, me getting better at something, and that building of skill, that strength, the building of strength. That's what you need to focus on. Is falling in love with newness, falling in love with the novice. It's part of yourself. Falling in love with the amateur. Or at least, falling in love with the pioneer. And to say, to make it a bit better, the pioneer, falling in love with the pioneer. Um, it's okay to be new at something. It's okay to not know what the fuck is going on. We're all on this earth to learn. It took you, what, forever? Maybe 1 to 2 years to learn how to walk? 1 to 2 years to learn how to walk. And you know what you're doing that whole time when you were a child and you were swaddled and your legs were all flimsy and whatnot? You know what you were doing? You were strengthening them. And your parents were helping you strengthen them by bouncing you around all the damn time and massaging your legs so that they get out of that weird position that they're in, and making sure that that you have legs, that contact with your legs and being like, oh hey, they're touching me, like this is a part of my body. That all of that shit, you being aware that you had legs in the first place, helped you learn to walk. And you just have to be aware of, whatever, skill you're pursuing, whatever adventure you're going to, go out on. You have to be aware that, oh, this exists. You have to have that exploration, explorer mindset, when tending to new things, or just doing new things in general. Um, and yeah, so make sure that you keep an open mind and an open heart. And with that, we will move on to fire signs, because I love my fire signs. I am a fire sign, and they're the best. Um, all right, fire signs. There I go again with that fucking breath. Anyway, fire signs. What does March 2023 have in store for you? Oh shit. Okay. Ooh. Very weird. Very weird start. That's all I'll say for now. I think we have the justice. Okay. This is very weird. I probably won't know what's going on until the last card pops out, because this energy is just kind of like all over the place a bit. We have the 8 of Swords, 3 of Cups, Justice, and we have another card that's going to pop out anytime soon. Okay, I guess now is that soon. We have 9 of Swords, and we also have the 7 of Wands. So this energy is very weird, but it's giving internal conflict. That's what it is. So fire signs, you're going to have a bit of like a seclusion moment, a bit of a surrendering moment, in the in the first week of March, it's gonna be kind of like you willingly put yourself there so that you can, kind of observe yourself where you need to go, but at the same time, kind of like containing yourself. You've given too much of yourself out. You're calling that energy back to you at this point. Kind of just surrendering yourself over to the universe, but at the same time, um, you know, making sure that, those boundaries are present. You're taking back control of yourself, you're taking back that power, um, which is a very odd reading for a eight of swords, but you see how you're like this person is just so guarded and they're bound, but it doesn't look like they're struggling. um it doesn't look like they're struggling at all. You're surrendering over yourself over to, the powers, the divine powers, basically. um And I feel like this is going to be a moment of peace for you, a moment of clarity for you, so much so that you end up with a breakthrough. We have a three of cups here. That's all about partying, good times, community, celebrations, etc. This is going to be like a kind of like a breakthrough. You're going to be like, okay, I've taken my time, I've surrendered myself over, and now I'm celebrating. You know, excuse me. And now I'm celebrating um, my wins. I'm celebrating, the fruits of my labor coming to me. This is also kind of like you're taking a step back so that you can give yourself more. You're taking a step back so you can show up as your best self. Um, so you can show up as your best self for your desires and for the people around you, your support system, etc. So that's going to be towards the middle of the week. We have 3, 8, 9. 3, 8, 9. So it's almost 3, 8, 9, 7. Okay, well, whatever. It's almost a complete set, except the 3 is kind of out of place. So this could be like, okay, well, it's kind of like a continuation from the last month. So it's progressing. You've celebrated, you're showing up as your best self, and then that period of your life stops and you are starting over with the Justice card in the middle of um, of March. So justice is all about making sure that things are fair, completing the flow of energy. Um, that's basically what I'm hearing a lot. Have you been completing the flow of energy? And what this kind of is like giving is riling on in my head is, um, have you been giving yourself what you need to continue? So this looks like giving away too many free services or products, and not having enough to sustain yourself because you think that, oh, if I give, people will come back for more. But they'll just come back on the pretense that, oh, she gives so much or he gives so much away. I can just, wait until they give another time. This is why businesses that always do sales don't really do that well when a sale is not going on because their client or their customer is thinking, oh, well, I want this, but I'm just going to wait until they, do a sale within the next month or a flash sale, met like a notification pops up in my email. Um, that's going to be like they're just going to wait. You're not going to get you're not going to be sustained because you keep giving away too much. Um, you are not going to get the fullness you desire because you're giving away too much of yourself, too much of your energy. Um, it could also be the same thing for relationships. Oh my god, my ears are like closed off. Why are they closed off, guys? I think this has to do with something towards the end of the month. But let's get back to the middle. I forgot what I was saying, but kind of like um, it's gonna be a moment where you're in this space of, do I give, like, do I have enough? Am I sustaining myself? You're kind of like awakening yourself up to that. And you're like, okay, well, how do I honor my self worth? This is a really like a lot of worth going on here. Are you going to take charge? Are you going to, um, raise your prices? Stop giving away free things all the time. Oh, that's what I was talking about, relationships. It could be relationships too, in the matter of like, do I give, like, is my relationship unbalanced? Um, Kind of like, how do I go about falling? How do I go about falling? This could be you're giving way too much of yourself so that you're at the point of exhaustion, and you know that that other person is not reliable at the time. Someone in your support system is not reliable to you, or at this very moment. So how do you go about falling? How do you go about taking that rest, taking that break? What do? You feel that kind of like impending, not impending doom, but you feel like that cloud coming over you. You feel it. This could be like a depression, or you're going into a financial ebb. Or maybe it's just like your relationship has been on the rocks for a while and you're like, okay, well, I need a break from this shit entirely. Maybe not like ending the relationship, but more so, just not really participating in it anymore. Um, Kind of like, putting yourself on the back burner, but still within that relationship. I believe that that would be called taking a break. But it could also be, just, keeping yourself from doing things that you normally would because you don't feel that they are appreciated within that space within that relationship. um, so how do you prepare to fall when that person, or you know that your support group isn't as strong as it's going to be, or as strong as it could have been? How do you prepare for that? um, this is a lot of a lot of like, do I go talk to this person? Do I go, or do I just, do the passive aggressive route and, kind of leave hints that I need that person, or do I just, but like I don't like do any actions or confront them directly. Um, you have right now a hole within your shield, or at least in the middle of March, you will have a hole in your shield, and it's going to be a tough time because this will be, you're going to lead into sort of like a mental conflict. I see very much a mental conflict, and it's going to come on fast, um, or at least just conflict in general. A lot to deal with material things, but as well, kind of like the problems that you're facing are definitely materialistic, but the source itself is a spiritual issue, um, which you need to dissect and go through and like make sure that that is clear, or at least what you're up against during that time. So yeah, make sure that you are completing an energetic flow with all of your relationships, no matter if it's financial, like physical. love bound, etc. Make sure that you're completing that because um, if you don't keep that in check, you're going to have a hole in your shield and you might get stabbed. You might get wounded more than you expect. Um, and there's a lot of swords energy here, so be careful with your words during this time. Make sure if you are speaking, they are words of affirmation and love. Um, do not do not curse yourself. Do not curse others um, during this time, just because your words are going to have a lot of power. So yeah, towards the end of the month we have seven of wands and then the nine of swords. So definitely it's a mental conflict for sure, but it could be like an outwardly conflict that kind of is brought on by a mental instability that's going on. It could be with you or another person, but usually with this, it's with you. Um, yeah, so just prepare to that. Prepare for that. But at the same time, I want you to kind of be open to this sort of, I don't know, conflict, because the source of this conflict is going to um, kind of like determine. It's going to be kind of like a keystone in your success story. So make sure that uh, you pay attention to the source of this conflict and work it out as best as you possibly can, so that you don't go on and repeat the cycle and you can move on. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life I desire to live. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. Yeah, see, this is kind of the vibe that I'm feeling, um, but more so on the um, making sure that you are fed, making sure that you are sustained type of deal. Um, like I said, your words are sacred. Um, during this time. So make sure that uh, you surround yourself. This is a lot to deal with, like seclusion, but also community. Like you will be kind of like in an independent headspace, but to be aware that you have people around you, that you have a support system is going to be really um, crucial during this time because um, you're going to have this sense of uh I don't want to say like failure, it's more of like fear of failure. So you're going to be doing a lot of things, holding yourself up, fulfilling, a lot of things during this time, but it's like this mental um instability is going to cause you to kind of take it on a darker level. Um, Kind of maybe second guess whether or not you're doing enough, whether or not you are truly having success, or if it's just all a farce, a fallacy. Um, is your success if you don't have any physical evidence for it? That's going to be a big question for you guys. Um, Excuse me, I need to drink something. So make sure that you use March for growth, but you also use March to rejuvenate your spirit. You use because this is going to be really about letting yourself go in the end. Um, you're going to be fighting, mentally or physically. You're going to have to fight to set yourself free, and that's a hard ass thing to do. And it's okay to recognize that things are going to be hard. as long as you're willing to, complete the cycle, as long as you're willing to do the work and actually do it completely in entirety. Um, there's a lot of circles going on in this reading. Um, so make sure that um, you prepare yourself and you make sure that you set up. You do the best you possibly can towards like the first 3 weeks of March, because it's going you do the best you possibly can towards the first 3 weeks of March to get everything settled, to get your headspace right, work out, eat right, whatever it is that you do to feel good inside your body, your soul, your spirit, your mind. And also make sure that you feel secure, a sense of security and safety, but also groundedness, because towards the end of March is where all your problems are going to take place. All this kind of unresolved trauma is going to be pulling you back from all that progress that you've made from the beginning of the year, and maybe even past that onward to present. It's going to be pulling you back from that. So make sure that you stay in check, because that's going to be a tough battle to fight through. Um, so make sure to prepare yourself well. It's not it's not a good idea to send unhappy soldiers to war. It's not a good idea to send hungry soldiers to war, unpaid soldiers to war. Make sure your soldiers are happy. And that includes you. Make sure that you are happy before you go to war. Okay. Who's next? I did water. I did fire. Let's do earth signs next. I love me a good earth sign. My rising is in Virgo and my moon's in Taurus. So obviously, if I'm going to do fire signs, earth has to follow through, follow behind. So earth signs. What lies for you in March 2023? We have the Magician, Three of Wands. We have Ace of Swords. And we have Judgment. Judgment is popping up a lot. Within these readings. I don't understand why. Maybe this is just a moment of clarity. Everything's, getting a new start, so it has to be you have to make sure that you've planned accordingly, or that all the skeletons are cleaned out of your closet or something like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Judgment has been popping up a lot. Anyway, so we have the Magician, which tells me something great for you guys. That thing is that you'll be starting out March with all the power in the world at your fingertips. How will you create what you desire? How do you create or make it easier for you to fulfill your soul's mission in the beginning of March? There's also a sense of kind of like arrogance that I'm feeling. It's not really arrogance, it's more like confidence in your abilities. So there's definitely going to be manifestation taking place. But I feel like it's more of skill building and world designing, if that makes sense. Kind of like you're going to be actively creating your life during this time. Three of Wands always makes me giggle. Because it kind of reminds me of Moses, not Moses. Well, yeah, it reminds me of Moses with like the leading and his little serpent stick, but also kind of reminds me of Noah in a sense. Kind of like that pioneering thing. Like both of them are like kind of like pioneers in a sense, very much leaders. Um, Truth tellers that no one believes, crazy old men, to say the least. Um, so when you create your life, you're kind of gonna look back or like look at it and look at what you've created within the first week, or what you are actively creating. You're gonna be like, wow, okay, what's next? Or maybe kind of like, okay, these things are done, these things are coming to me as we speak. But what is beyond that? You're going to go really deep into what is beyond. Um, and this is gonna like kind of intertwine with the second week is going to kind of intertwine with the third week. You're going to have a lot of philosophical thoughts. Um, and a lot of introspection, just like towards just like towards the end, like, of March, like 2nd, 3rd, 4th week of March, like, towards after the first week, it's just gonna be a lot of introspection. You're gonna be like, "Okay, what's next?" A lot of planning, but planning in the sense that you're, like, plotting. Like, you've created this whole entire world, but, how does it work? Why do you exist, you know? Why were you able to do all that beautiful, creation? What lies beyond what you've created? What can you now obtain now that you've laid out, the building blocks, or laid down the foundation? What can you now obtain now that you lit the torch and can see, what was previously dark? Um, and this sort of like, oh my God, ouch. Anyway, this sort of like contemplation is going to cause a lot of new thoughts, new thinking, new patterns, to maybe even a new religion, or like um, mode of faith to pop up. They're going to change greatly during this time to like your beliefs are going to change during this time. You're going to also be really introspective as well. Kind of like uh you're just going to be sitting and observing, taking an observant type of view. And that's the vibes I'm really getting, especially since the position of the cards speak on an observant level. Um, it's going to be a time for you to explore, the new world that you created, but also yourself in a sense. Um, who are you your core? Why did you want these things to begin with? Just a lot of introspection during this time, and a lot of appreciation for sure, but a lot of kind of like questioning the way of the world, if that makes sense. um, or wanting something greater than the world, maybe. And that's why you will, like, contemplate your own spiritual beliefs at this time, or like during, towards the end of March. So we have, no matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. So this is gonna be um so there's this concept that the divine separated itself into souls, not wholly. The divine's still around us, and with us, through us, etc. But the divine separated a bit of itself into souls, and have given, like, they are within us. The divine lives within us through our soul. um And so this sense of my soul knows the way, the sense of home and sanctuary, it's kind of all like, okay, now that I've created now that I've created the material things and I've been a conduit for spirit to reach through me, I've created all the material things that I desire. What is it spiritually that I want to attain now? A lot of spiritual awakenings, I feel like for sure is going to go on during this time. Um, it's not going to be a confusing time. It's more going to be like, um, you're just gonna have a lot of thoughts. This is a good time to get set down like a journal. We have ministers of the labyrinth here, and also Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. So, between you? What lies between you and your soul? I feel like is a really good uh, question to take into account, or to to take with you during March. What lies, with you? What lies in between you and your soul? Do you feel connected with yourself on a spiritual level? Do you feel kind of like, separated from yourself? Do you even feel your soul within you? You know, we also have like a sense of, confusing, like not really confusing, but complexity, complex thoughts. I feel like thoughts is not the right word, but you're going to be awakening. You're gonna be awakened to like this new realm of consciousness that's going to be hard to navigate. So when I say complex thoughts, that's really what it is. It's just um, navigating your way through this newfound consciousness. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time. Like I said, it's not gonna be very confusing. It's more of so just gonna be, you're going to have abundance of new ideas, new thoughts, new perspectives, etc. Especially with like this spread, not a single perspective is the same. We got, looking straight on, head forward, which like, involves looking right in front of you. What can you see, smell, touch, whatever. We have all the elements, which, it implies material things like earthly matters and whatever. And then we have, okay, now that I'm not facing towards you, I'm going to, turn my back to you, um, which involves not looking back, looking for more, leading the way, seeing something beyond. And then we have not really perspective at all, um, kind of like a blank slate with the Ace of Swords. I know that the hand is there; it's presenting the sword or whatever, but there's not really a human force there, earthly force there. When it comes to the aces, it's more of like connecting with source and receiving that download, so you can have new beginnings, new blah 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 blah, new everything. The aces. Um, so yeah, so it's basically like, okay, what's beyond? Okay, now I'm going to connect with source, and now you're looking at, and towards the end of March, you're looking at Earth from a observer's perspective, like from the divine's view almost. Um, with this judgment card, if you can understand what I'm saying, it's kind of like this. If you can see what I'm saying, that angel up there, I forget if that's Gabriel or not, but I think Gabriel is the messenger. It's the messenger archangel, which makes sense because you're going to be receiving a lot of messages, a lot of, you know divine downloads during this time. Is going to be amazing for you, and you shouldn't be afraid of it. Open it, embrace it with open arms, and make sure to keep that feeling of love, that feeling of kind of like, it's not really creation, exploration, I guess, or alchemy. That feeling of alchemy, or like, that desire of alchemy with you. Because even though the magician is kind of like um, an earthly card, and definitely is like number one, which deals with the material. Like you have now gone from zero, which is absolutely nothing or everything, to one, which is okay, now we have something, nothing to something. um, Cosmology is what's going to say. There's just a lot that's dealing with the divine during this time. Divine creation, divine, knowledge, etc., etc. There's a lot that's going on. So you have remember that the magician is kind of like a conduit for spirit. And so that's basically the action that you're going to, I mean, the role that you're going to fulfill during this time is a conduit for spirit to pass through you. It's going to be a very spiritual month for you, and I'm excited. I am. I'm really excited. Wow. Okay. Well, that was it for Earth signs. And you're going to move on to air signs. All right, air signs. This is your monthly forecast for March 2023. What is in store for you guys here? What is in store for not Earth signs, air signs. Air signs. What's in store for air signs? We have the Empress. Yes. We love the good queen. And people are going to call me out. She's not a queen, she's the Empress. But same damn thing, just different title. We have the Empress, threes, manifestation, since this is... Oof. Okay, we have a 3 again. Okay. 3 of Wands. High Priestess. Damn. Lots of... Tell me why I was just thinking about the High Priestess too before that card came out, when I just pulled the Empress. That's so funny. What else is there? And that's literally, guys, I'm gonna wait to say what I'm gonna say until this next card comes out, but tapping into that divine feminine, I see. What the hell is this last card? This fucking sword, Knight of Swords, keeps popping the fuck out, but on top of it was actually the 3 of Pentacles. So we almost have a complete set here. We have 3 of my nose is itchy. It's always itchy when I'm channeling. We have 3 of 3 being the Empress for the major arcana. Then we have the 3 of Wands. Then we have 2, which is 2 in the major arcana, which is the High Priestess. But then you also have 3 of Pentacles, which I was like, when I pulled the Empress, I knew we were going to have 333. I knew it for a fact, which is why I knew that the High Priestess was going to come out, because I was thinking of Mother Maiden in Chrome, which is exactly kind of what's showing up right now, for being honest. Anyway, so this month is a lot of, this month contains a lot of, channeling that divine feminine energy, and kind of like really pushing forward. There's a lot of forwardness, but also a lot of, rest in between, a lot of kind of like, okay, I know I need to move, but how do I move in a safe direction? Or like, how do I move safely? How do I move surely? And not, be reckless with my movement, my momentum. Mm, so we're gonna start out with I was debating on how to start, but I think it's just best if I continue what I've been doing and I start from the beginning of the month. Um, so we have the Empress here. The Empress here. Uh, Beginning of the month is going to be hella like kind of like in your element type of vibe. Very much queen energy coming through. A lot of you know, mm, coming into your own, I want to say. Um, there is a lot of love here because the Empress, being an Empress, you kind of have to have a lot of love, but also there is legit the heart here. There's legit the heart in the corner, or left corner, which left is also feminine as well. It'll be mm, sorry guys, there's a lot going on right now. Um, I'm gonna need one path and one path only, please, and thank you. Um, so there's going to be this idea of you getting back into your element, really coming into yourself, and really emanating the vibe of you, the vibration of you. Um, like really uh, passing that out, passing out pieces of me. Don't you know nothing comes free? That's a song by Mac DeMarco. That Mac DeMarco, I think that's his last name. Um, that's a really good song, but it's very weird when you hear it the first time. So make sure that you listen to it with open ears and an open heart. Um, yeah, there's a sense of luxury, a sense of like being, fully and completely yourself, being in charge, but also, so in charge to the point where you don't have to lift a finger for things to move in the direction that you want them to move into. Um, that's the type of power that you're going to hold, and that power is going to hold on throughout the whole entire spread. We see that the only really like full on action card is this Knight of Swords right here. And this is just kind of like a ready set go type of deal. Like you've had all this sort of like queenly divine energy that's been passing through you. And at that time when you get to this, okay, now we need to take action. It's not like a hasten type of thing. This is action that you've been planning throughout this whole entire time, that you've been listening to your intuition to, that you've been receiving downloads from the divine from. This is active manifestation coming in swiftly, fast, um, quickly. Um, and let me explain, because after you're in your Empress, era, the first week of March, which means that you're all about creating, the things that you want to happen. You are in that sensual creation energy. Okay. Um, which, by the way, wrap it up. Because that first week is nothing to play with, especially with the Empress. Wrap it up. Also, but yeah, you're in like this creative energy you have right now, and that needs an outlet, right? So this creation, you're gonna be like, okay, what can I do with it? What can I do with it? And I don't want something that's right in front of me that I can go like, work a part-time job in like for like a couple of months and get within like, you know like 3-4 paychecks. It's not something like that. It's not something like, okay, it's not really monetary in a sense, but it kind of is. It's kind of like you're building your empire. Literally, you are building your empire. Um and although that does require financial support, it's not just about that. It's about you putting your energy into a, like, you're literally building your world. you are building your world at this point right now. And so this is kind of like looking at the plot of land that you just bought, and you're like, okay, now what do we do? How do we lay out the plans? Blah 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 blah. Looking into the future, um, to see what you need to do in the present. And this is kind of like going towards the high priestess. We see we take a break from the threes, and we are in like kind of a space of twos now, where it's like, okay, well, now that we are in this era of manifestation, how do I balance my energy just right to get everything going, to get everything flowing in the direction that I need to flow into, or flow towards. But also during this high priestess moment, and also during the Three of Wands moment, we are getting a lot of divine downloads. And what I mean by that is you're going to receive a lot of messages from spirit leading you, guiding you, uh, towards where you are trying to go, towards, building that empire. Um, and so, and it's so funny that the Empress, oh, and then March is the third month of, you know, the calendar year, so that's quite funny too. But the Empress is a very much like kind of fruitful type of deal. Whenever I see the Empress, I think very much about Mother Earth, often Venus too, because there is a Venus symbol, but really more so Mother Earth, um, because or like Gaia, because there's so much vegetation around her, and she is outside, um, kind of like in a forest, not really a forest, but more like a plains type of um, area, and plains typically grow like wheat and like grains that sustain pretty much every living thing on the earth right now, especially things that humans decided that they wanted to take care of, um, which includes humans itself or themselves, ourselves. So this is very much a Mother Earth type of vibe. Um, and so yeah, so you're in like this kind of like downloading, receiving divine messages type of thing, um, where you are just connected to source, and it is alchemy. For sure, it is alchemy. Um, Towards the end of oh wait, no, sorry, before I go to that, and with the high priestess too, we see a lot of connection, um, with the moon here. I don't know if you can see, she has moon right here, and like moon's going all around, and a moon on her headdress. She's a moon queen. And so we have this sense of getting in touch with your intuition, of course, but also kind of controlling your emotions, being aware of your emotions, being aware of illusions, and like kind of like breaking all of those down, um, so that uh, can do the things that you feel like doing, or like want to do, or feel called to do. Towards the end of so pay attention to the moon and how it affects you during March. Yeah, I feel like during the new moon, especially, that's a really good time to manifest for air signs. Um, Anyway, so towards the end of the month, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is the chance for you to give. And by giving, you are also giving unto yourself, because you're completing cycles, um, completing flows of energy. But also, it's kind of like giving your wealth, extending your wealth onto other people, so that your soul becomes more wealthy, if that makes sense. So that your soul evolves during this time. But there's also uh, mm, there's also like kind of like a feeling of community, like building your empire, but also bringing people in. So when I mean when I say sharing the wealth, I do mean like random acts of kindness as well. But I also mean bringing in your team to this empire that you have been creating silently for a while, but now getting more people into it. And when you do get more people into it, and this I just heard coven. So if you have a coven or a group of people that you can manifest with during this time, um, it would be a great time to do so. Because it's just going to charge your energy even more, and you're going to have um, this kind of amplified energy towards all of the beautiful energy that you're already putting towards this building of an empire. um, and that is what's going to cause it to manifest in such a fast such a fast amount of time, such a short amount of time. That's what's going to cause it to manifest, and it's going to be accurate. It's going to be like down to the very last detail, down to like the sand grains, um, and stuff. So, yeah, make sure to use this time, your divine time, your time as a divine goddess. Even if you are, even if you are sort of like male presenting, I still feel like you're going to be in goddess energy, because that's literally all this spread is. Goddess is self-knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. Again, building that empire. Ooh, that's hard on the shot. Building that empire. And putting your energy, your own divine energy into it, your own connection with source into it. The mother of believers, I'm spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. This is what I'm talking about. Queen fucking shit. Queen shit is going like, I am so proud of you guys, because this is, I think if I remember correctly, your February was not nice. And so when I'm reading this read for you guys, I'm like, wow, they've got it together. They're doing everything that they are supposed to do, and most of you actually followed my advice, because you did a great job. Because look at this spread now. Look at it. Look at it. But yeah, it's beautiful. Truly, you are embodying queen goddess energy during this time, and don't waste it, especially during the beginning of the year, during spring. Do not waste this energy. Make sure that you use this power inside of you, your personal power. Use it to propel yourself. Use it to build the life that you've been wanting to live for ages. And I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that. So, and that's the end of the reading. Wow, like guys, I don't think there was one really bad reading, if we're being honest. There's a lot of love, a lot of being open, a lot of preparing, a lot of dominating, especially with air signs. Um, but a lot of achievement overall with everyone, and I really want to say, wow, guys, I can't wait to see what you guys do within this month, within March. I do want to say that since it is March and it's my birthday month, shop items will be 25% off. You can use a coupon code, which I will put in the description. And if you want to book a reading with me, that'll be in the description as well. And yeah, if you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be down in the description. I post on Tumblr and Twitter quite frequently, so check me out on those, but also follow me on Instagram. Follow my Instagram because I don't know, the branding's cute over there. And TikTok, because I'm posting more on TikTok as well. But just follow me everywhere if you can, if you want to. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you made it this far, comment Comment like a crown emoji, the champagne emoji, or a little, you know, or what is it called? A diamond. Um, because I want some of that energy that air signs are getting. So comment those so I can get that energy as well. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, make sure to let me know and share it with other people. I would really appreciate it. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. I love you guys.